we go. It is going to be a very, very wet race here tonight for the British Grand Prix for round 6 of TCR in season 11 in the Platinum class. And of course, as I've mentioned many, many times already, we're doing the 100% race distance here today. So that's going to mean 52 laps in total around Silverstone. 5.891 kilometers, 3.66 miles total length, and or one lap length, and we've got 18 turns. At Silverstone, as normal, we usually like to let the drivers use the black and white curbs all around the track. There aren't too many places where you can go off on this new game and not get hurt by the track because it's quite difficult. But looking at the TCR lap record around here, it is set by Speedster 25 in season 10 of Platinum class. It's a 126.554, so very, very quick race record there. We'll see if anybody can beat it. We did have some people beating records here or this last week, so we'll see what's gonna happen here tonight. But it's just about to we're just about to start the formation lap here. The Platinum class drivers gonna have to figure out some good strategies and some good setups for this race because the weather, it sounds like, might just be wet all around for the whole race, and that might be 52 laps, about an hour, just over an hour or so of total race distance in wet conditions around Silverstone. That is not something that I don't think any driver would wish on himself or anyone else, but they're just going to have to deal with it. Predicted pit stop strategy, 0 stops on a wet tire, so you can pretty much go the whole race distance according to the game, or you can do 1 stop and go on 2 sets of wet tires. Now, if we end up going on a full 100% race with 0 stops, do you think anyone would be able to pull that out, Kano?
I mean, I think it's possible because the wet tires, if it rains the whole race, I mean, the amount of tread that you get for those wet tires, it should be able to last quite a long time. And obviously, if it starts to dry up a little bit towards the end, they will crumble quite hard. But if it stays at this type of the amount of rain that is currently falling, which is a lot, and keeps the track super wet, even if they start to get a little bit of a dry line, obviously it's just going to keep those wet tires going because that's what it does. The more water that's on the track, the better the longer the tires will last, basically. So you could possibly make it to the end. I could see maybe 1 or 2 people at the front, maybe like P4, 5, maybe making a strategic call to try and do that and see if they could actually win a race that way. But inevitably, I feel like if there was a safety car or something, you would come in for a fresh set of wets anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a safety car or something like that, especially depending on when it is in the race, I think it might play into the hands of the drivers here to make a pit stop. But other than that, if they're able to hold on to their tires, not overheat them too much, and not go collecting grass like we're watching Bamboo right now on his out lap or warm-up lap, yeah, I think they might be able to keep on those tires for pretty much the whole duration of the race. So a couple of people I'll be looking out for tonight is going to be Seafreeze, obviously. He is, a very important person to this TCR league, one of the founders of the league, and has been racing in TCR many, many years. In the Platinum class, he's a multiple-time champion, a 3-time champion in the Platinum class, and he's making his return here tonight for this 100% race. But also Bamboo starting in 15th place, a little bit low from what we're used to seeing from him in qualifying. But I'm excited to see what he can do from the back of the grid there, so to speak. In 15th place, that's going to be Bamboo, and Seafreeze in 11th. Those guys are going to be starting there, and I'm going to be watching for them as the lights are now going on. 3, 4, and 5 lights are on. The lights go out, and we go racing here for round 6 of season 11 in TCR, and it's a very, very wet start for this 100% race as Fasassin makes contact with Stanley right into turn 1, and now Flying Jippo goes around him. Now there's more contact going on between FYKV and Go-To-Guy as well, and Fasassin and Go-To-Guy had a tiny little bit of a touch as they're now coming through turn 3 and 4. This is going to be a very close race, as we can see from this start. A lot of people are very aggressive here, but of course we've got 52 laps to go, so I don't think you can win this race on the first lap, but of course you can gain some good positions, and we've just seen Flying Jippo move up a couple of positions there due to Stanley and Passassin making some contact, and Passassin dropped down to 6th now, so he's going to have to make up those positions once again after, they sort of spread out a little bit. Tasmanian Devil is right on the back on FYKV, using his overtake there for a couple of seconds, trying to close up that gap as soon as possible as well. It's going to be a close one, as if this is what it's going to be like for the rest of it.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely mental. As you can already see, some of the guys are really struggling to put the power down out corners because it's just so wet right now. But this makes it so much fun, and obviously with DRS not being a factor, it really comes down to how you attack the track, how you play out the track. Can you make these tires work? Can you keep them in good prime shape? Can you pull away? Because obviously, ERS becomes a really big factor in this, and how much you can save too. Just on pure pace, but we're gonna see what everyone is made of here tonight. As Secret actually went, I believe, off track. Yeah, Secret had an issue. I think he lost it. Did you catch it on board?
I did not, but it does look like Mebby is right alongside him right now and right on his back, but he's still in first place. I know that the positions have shuffled up a little bit, as this glitch usually happens around lap 2. We're actually on lap 2, not lap 3, as it says right now, but Secret's still in front right now, with Mebby very, very close on his back. Stanley not too far behind as well. Flying Jippo, the teammate of Sequit, who is currently in the lead, is also right there in 4th place. And then Passassin, after losing a couple of positions at the start of the race, is now trying to make them up again. He's got Go-To Guy in front of him, and he's got Tasmanian Devil not too far behind as well. Seafreeze moved up one position from where he started. He's currently in 10th. So he's holding on to that last point finishing position here tonight. And then he's got Joshua 007, Death with Tricky, Bamboo, Chatty Duck Crooner, F1 Racer, and GTR Line all following very, very, very closely behind. So lots and lots is still about to happen here today, as we're only coming to the end of lap 2. And if you guys are watching this, thank you guys again for supporting the league and watching the league. I know we weren't able to produce this one in a lifetime. Unfortunately, YouTube decided tonight was a good night to pull out a error on us. But hopefully you guys will watch this in replay. And yeah, we really appreciate you leaving a like, leave some comments. Check out the links in the description for our affiliate sponsor, Fanatec. We have a link there for their equipment, so if you're looking to buy yourself some sim equipment, you will definitely be supporting the league by using that link. And also check out the link for the TCR shop, as Go-To Guy and Assassin make a little bit of a touch there. But I was going to mention the TCR shop, our own merch, our own little bit of merchandise. As Assassin almost loses the car on the exit of turn 5 there. But I was going to say, we've got some TCR stickers. They're only a few bucks, but you guys can help us out by purchasing a few, so check those out. And now we've got more battling going on here. Tasmanian Devil coming up on Passassin, trying to overtake him. They're still side by side as they come out of the exit of Woodcut, and now they're going to be on that run down to Cobbs. They're going to be side by side into that fast corner. That can now work out well, but Assassin actually makes up that position with a great move on the inside there of Tasmanian Devil, so he keeps that position, but he was very, very close to losing it, as Tasmanian Devil was very quick. But now Assassin is right back on the attack on Go-To Guy in front of him, and he really, really wants those positions back that he lost on the first lap.
I'd have to agree, and great to add to that. Oh my god, he is just not getting the turn in or anything. Oh, he's loose. My gosh. The fact that he's saving this car just shows the ability that these guys have in Platinum. Just how many times he could have lost the car, and look, even again. It's
Yeah, that
unreal.
car does not want to go in a straight line. It is just absolutely coming out on him, and on every corner as he comes into the corner, he wants to press out some more pace out of it, but the car is just saying absolutely no. And now Tasmanian Devil is up into sixth place, and Passassin is down to seventh. So now he's lost 3 positions off the start of the race. Tasmanian 3 positions up, and Flying Jippo started sixth and now running in fourth. But the rest of the top 10 or so have pretty much stayed exactly in the same position, with the exception of Seafreeze coming up a position, and FYKV position up as well. So very, very interesting here so far. But very early into the race, only lap 4 of 52, as we're doing a 100% race here. Oh, and Tasmanian Devil and go-to guy. Look at that. Tasmanian Devil is up into 5th place now. Absolutely incredible from Tasmanian Devil. He is on that chase. He wants another win here tonight. If he can do that, that'll be 6 out of 6 this season, and that's just absolutely unbelievable. That is a true Hamilton style.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Looks like go-to guy is starting to struggle pace-wise now. Taz has kind of been picking off people in front of him. He got a really good start, and then kind of just sat behind. Sorry, Vapor and go-to as Assassin goes wide again. He is just struggling into that last little part into here. He just struggles so much. And he's lost now 4 positions from his starting position, so just continuing to go back, and that car just does not love the rain right now. He is very much having struggles. That's what I would have to say.
And KGB Black Angel is capitalizing on those struggles, and he's also looking at a go-to guy in front of him who also seems to not really struggle as much as Assassin right now, but definitely having a little bit of issues as Seafreeze and FYKV now battling for position. Oh, and they came
Side by
really
side.
close there. There was almost a touch. FYKV had to give up that move, and Seafreeze is now up into 9th place. Can they hold on to it? There's a Force India off. It's go-to guy. Go-to guy is off, and sorry, in the Racing Point. I don't know where I pulled off Force India from, but go-to guy had a big off on the entry into Brooklands, into turn 6, and that has allowed Seafreeze and FYKV to both catch up to him. Passassin has regained a position, so he's in 7th place right now. But this seems to be a really exciting battle going on here for positions 8 down to 10th or so. We now have a yellow in Sector 1. Somebody is in the pits.
I think GTR Lion is still retiring, so that is currently why there is a yellow flag in Sector 1.
Here comes Seafreeze diving down the inside. Sorry to interrupt there. Down the inside of Stowe on go-to guy, and that's P8 now.
Good move. Good move. Brilliant. Get past him. Now start working on the other guys in front.
Ooh, and FYKV has had a little bit of a spin there. Again, sorry to interrupt, on the exit of Club, and he got some grass on his tires. He also spun up the back tires on the exit. So yeah, some drivers are starting to struggle already on lap 6.
Yeah, and we're really starting to see the battle for the lead and the top podium positions heating up, as Stanley looks like he has the best tires out of everyone. Mebe is trying to catch up to Secret at the same time, and Stanley is putting a charge on and has really got that gap really close and tight to Mebe. So this is going to be interesting to see. What I will note to people, obviously we're not live, but when you're watching this, understand that the reason why people their tires are heating up so much and so quickly is because there's so much dirty air even with the rain, which just makes it even worse. And with a slick track, anytime the tires overcook or overheat, they produce less traction, and in the wet weather you really need that. So that is possibly why some of these guys are struggling, and why Assassin is struggling too. With Stanley right there out of the exit, got a little bit of oversteer because of the dirty air in front of him from Mebe trying to get on the gas pedal a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and a few moments ago, we got a really good shot from above from the helicopter cam where you could see just the immense amount of spray that's coming off of the track and off of the back of these cars. So that sort of illustrates, the drag that this water is producing, as well as the dirty air that Kono just mentioned. And so these guys have to really think about managing
Oh!
ERS. Oh,
Assassin's around! Assassin's around! He lost
oh
it on the
no.
last corner. And he's back on track. Didn't lose any wing, no crashing, no nothing. Just lost a lot of time and a lot of position. So, as you can see, once these tires just heat up, it's so hard to save. You start just losing the car everywhere.
And here comes
So, definitely.
Stanley thinking about a move on Maybe. Sorry there. He
No,
was
go for it, go
thinking
for
about
it.
a move for on Brooklands, but thought back about it again. And now he's right on the back of Maybe though, and he has got 90% ERS. This guy is managing it absolutely incredibly right now. So I think there's a little bit of a combination between your pure pace on track and then having to use ERS to supplement, overtaking and things like that. Whereas maybe other people are using their ERS just to stay on pace with everybody around them. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys are going to be able to handle ERS for 52 laps here tonight.
Top five are separated by 2.2, and it is closing. Tasmanian Devil is caught up to this group ahead of him. Just want to note the only like you were saying with the ERS, Mebe is used the most. Everyone else seems to be around the same. Secret 76, Stanley around 70, Yippo around 65. Taz is at 72. So Mebe is really, I guess, trying to stay with Secret. It looks like right now, and Secret's kind of comfortably out there. He knows that DRS is not the factor, so he just keeps the clean air in front of him. And he's got, because it just makes a huge difference to be in fresh, clean air, as Mebe is actually trying to make a move.
And here he goes into arena corner, into the double left-hander here before the opens up into the run into Brooklands here on the straight, but couldn't quite get the car positioned into a good place. And Sequid there having a little bit of trouble into that corner, which sort of worked to his advantage there. He sort of blocked the path of Mebi there. Now Flying Jippo is right on the back of Stanley. And the top five, as you mentioned, they're just closing up on each other immensely.
And if it continues, it's going to bring KGB and Freeze into it, because Freeze is starting to catch up with KGB. So with Freeze having really good pace, it looks like, in to start this race, really impressive to see him in his first race back. Just stepping in and kind of coming back, and he's really catching KGB. KGB looks like he's struggling a little bit. So if Freeze can get the move done, he's in actually a good position to have free air, let the tires cool down, while still catching the leaders. And then when you get up to them, you won't have to worry, and your tires will be that much better. Sorry, we missed a move on Taz as well. Taz on Flying Rip.
Yeah, and that was one hell of a move there as they were coming side by side all the way through Cops and then into Maggots and Beckett's, but Flying Jippo had to give up that position because there was just no space anywhere to go for two cars. There's a 5-second penalty for Goatee Guy for speeding into the pit lane, so that is not going to help him out, and he's retired from the session. So he's decided not to continue on here tonight for the remaining laps. We've got two Racing Points that have now left the race. It's GTR Lion and Go-To Guy. So unfortunately, Racing Point is not going to get any points here tonight.
That will be agonizing to Lance Stroll. He won't be very happy with that.
Yeah, and get ready for, the next game, which is going to be coming out in July, as we heard from the news tonight, if we can believe the sources, so to speak.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be another change, because I feel like we've had to change the name of this team every single game that came out in the last 3 years now, because it's going to be, it was Force India to Racing Point, to now Aston Martin. So start getting used to that, I guess. I'll try to remember their name. I already called them Force India once today.
Oh, I believe they've had a lot more names than that, so they're always the one name brand that has continued to change throughout the years. But it's really good to see Aston Martin in F1 again. Obviously, we have it coming up this weekend, and the added bonus of with the new release date, we will be seeing new track layouts for like the likes of Australia, new tracks or old tracks coming back as well with Portimao, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and obviously Imola. And they also said there's 2 classic tracks that are also going to be added too. So really hoping for like a Turkey and maybe one of the other tracks they did, Mugello, would be awesome if they had all those tracks come in. It would be really cool to see that and them add that in so we could also use those for the league. It just gives you more options to use.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also really excited to see how the new combination of companies between EA and Codemasters is gonna work. Cause EA did buy them out, but they said for this particular game and for any games that Codemasters had in the works already, they're just gonna let them finish them up as their own sort of division. They're gonna provide them with resources and staff and anything else they need, but they're not really gonna change anything drastically around for this one. So we're hoping they might have been able to fix some of the glitches that we've been experiencing this time around. I'm really hoping that with the EA resources, they might be able to give us some better servers for better connection to each other as well. So that might be a really good addition and a good fix there.
I'd have to agree with everything you said. I'm just excited to be able to have the game at an earlier stage since they've changed it from where it used to come out usually around about 8 weeks after F1 would start. Now it's or 8 races, sorry, after F1 starts. It's probably gonna come out a little bit quicker this time than usual. So it's really nice that they're starting to bring them out earlier too, so that we can also enjoy the game at the same time as the races are on.
And there goes Tasmanian Devil on Stanley. A beautiful
Wow.
overtake there. They were side by side for a couple of corners, but Tasmanian Devil managed to make that one work, and he's up onto the podium positions now, up into third. So this guy is definitely on a mission. He's still got 41 laps of distance here tonight to be able to retake the win. But I mean, from everything he's done so far this season, I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be the case. But for now, it's Sequit still leading the race with Mebby in second, Tasmanian Devil in third, Stanley in fourth. We've got a yellow flag.
Bruner,
Karuner has retired
he's
from the
actually
session.
retired on track. He's actually retired, like retired. So that could possibly bring a safety car or a VSC. Or what will it bring? Will people dip into the pits? That is the major question. Because he is on the track still, so I don't know if they'll have. Maybe because it's so far away, they won't have to worry about it. But we'll find out in a second here. And his
Yeah,
green
no.
flag is being removed. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so his car has just disappeared of the track there, so that means that he should be okay. But Tasmanian Devil is right on the back of Mebby now again, and he just wants that lead as soon as possible. So let's stick around with Tasmanian Devil here as we're now starting lap 12 of 52 here tonight in this 100% race in the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. It's going to be a long one, but so far it's been absolutely incredible to watch and commentate on, and we are still under full wet conditions here. Nobody has switched their tires for any other sets, if I'm not mistaken. Looking at the stops, Assassin and Warrior have had a stop, but I'm not sure if that was for damage. Most likely would have been, but other than that, everybody else is still running on the tires that they started this race on, and it's only going to get more exciting from here.
I'd have to agree. As the rain is continuing to fall too, I was seeing a little bit more of lighter clouds around some parts of the track where it was a little bit darker. So, possibility that it is possible the rain might loosen up a little bit. But as you can already see, some of the guys are searching for the offline around certain parts of the track as well. Warriors retired on track, it looks like. It's not a good thing to do. It looks like he's doing it down the main straight. I didn't see him pull into the pits, so I'd hope he's in the pits, but it didn't look like he was.
So that's another DNF, unfortunately, with Warriorins, Gruner, Go To Guy, and GTR Lion not making it until the end of this race. But we still got 16 drivers on track, and I'm sure that these guys are going to be trying everything they can to get some points here tonight. Sequid and maybe right now, their main goal is just to hold off Sequid, but Tasmanian Devil, but Tasmanian Devil is just very, very quick, and it doesn't matter what sort of weather or what track we're on, he just always has a lot of raw pace, which he's using right now. He's also using his overtake down to about 50% right on the back of Mebi now as they're about to come into Brooklands. Let's see here. Ooh, it's going to be side by side there. It was very close, no touching. So Tasmanian Devil is going to have to try again, though, and he is trying again right away on the little bit of a switchback right into the run onto the straight between Woodcott and Cops as they're coming into there now. This is incredible racing from this Platinum class.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's been 13 laps of absolute driving. So, as Jimmy Butler put it once to Lando Norris, and yeah, these guys are just driving and look like they're having a ball of a time right now. Later on in the race, I do feel like Taz and Medbay's tires are going to hurt a lot more than what Secrets would, just due to the fact that he has the clean air and has since the beginning, and Medbay's been around behind him for quite a while. So, brakes shouldn't be worrying too much about it, maybe a little bit, but more, I would say, just tire grip and overcooking and overheating on the tires. As Freeze sets the fastest lap too.
Yeah, and those top five drivers again starting to close up on each other into a nice little train here. Of
Top
course, no,
six.
yeah, no DRS here tonight, unfortunately. But if that was the case with DRS conditions, we would have been seeing overtakes on top of overtakes all over the place. But right now, we've got a couple of big battles going on, and I think the main thing that the drivers are waiting for without the DRS and without anything else is pretty much maybe somebody makes a mistake, maybe somebody goes a little bit wide into a corner, and you can slide in there and take advantage of it. So that's what Tasmanian Devil is waiting for. I'm sure that's what Mebi is waiting for, to try and overtake Sequid and put a car in between himself and Tasmanian Devil as well. But behind them, a nice battle going on here between Flying Jippo, who's right behind Stanley. Stanley is only 1.3 seconds away from that main three pack at the front. So again, not far behind, and they could definitely close up to them pretty quickly.
Yeah, really good. With everyone, obviously, as well, so compact. Now, any little mistake from one driver could really cost you some time, as this yellow flag. Not too sure what the. Oh, it's Passassin.
Oh,
He's
Assassin. Yeah, he's had a
he's
big,
having
big
one of those
spin.
races. Yeah, I think he might be coming into the pits and possibly retiring. He's tried, and I've kind of come back on board with him a few times, and just looks like the setup he had just didn't suit this weather. So it's unfortunate, but we know how fast he is. So next week he surely will be back quick and furious, no matter what.
And we're getting a really nice shot here from the barge boards of the McLaren, the Flying Jippo, as we saw this whole little train of five cars running around the track here, and you could see how close everybody is to each other. Sequit, Mebi, Tasmanian Devil, Stanley, and Flying Jippo, and even Black Angel, sorry, right behind them, all very, very close to each other. So, yeah, I mean, this is closing up now. Look at Seafree. He's up into 7th place and right on the back of Black Angel as well. So now this is a top 7 train of cars, which are pretty much within a second of each other or less. So that is extremely exciting here under these sort of conditions on this sort of a track. Again, this is just proving every single week in the season 11 why these guys are in this platinum class and exactly what they can do. The pace, the performances, the concentration, and the focus levels are just beyond anything that I've ever seen. Incredible job from all these drivers, and we still got a lot of time to go, as Mebi there was thinking of coming into the pits, but then sort of made a really late decision to go there and took out one of the brake boards, and he is retired from the session. What just happened there? Why did Mebi retire? He didn't have any damage, he didn't have anything going on there. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, maybe something happened. I'm gonna look for the chat and see if something happens in there. To see why he may have left, but I would have to think it'd have to be a certain situation because no one just retires for no reason. He would have had to have left the session for a reason.
Yeah, I hope everything is okay there with Mebi, but it's so unfortunate to see him leave, especially with, the performance he's been doing so far. He was in 2nd place there before he decided to retire from the session, but he's going to be retirement number 5, and we're going to be down to 15 runners in tonight's race with Passassin quite a long way back behind the rest of the pack and about only a few corners away from being lapped. But Sequit, Tasmanian Devil, who's now in 2nd, and Stanley, who's now in 3rd. These guys are very close to each other still, and Flying Jippo in 4th, Black Angel in 5th. Seafreeze now in 6th place. So again, just closing up those positions very, very quickly. Looking at where everybody started, Tasmanian Devil started in 9th. He's currently in 2nd. We've got Flying Jippo 2 positions up, Black Angel 2 positions up. Seafreeze, though, 5 positions up from where he was, and Mr. Joshua 7 positions up for where he started. Bamboo 5 positions up as well, and F1 Racer started right at the back of the grid. He's now in 12th, not too far away from some points, and that would be a great performance from him as well. So we'll keep on watching what is going to happen here. It looks like Tasmanian Devil is making a move on Sequit as they're coming in through turn 3 and going into turns 4 and 5. Sequit is on the outside. Tasmanian Devil is going to take the inside corner. A little bit of a touch there between the two of them. They're still side by side as they're coming out onto the straight. Sequit manages to hold on to the lead for now, trying to break the toe as he goes to the left and goes back to the right. And Tasmanian Devil is going to have to try another move once again, but he is so close to the lead of this race, and we're not even halfway through it.
Yeah, information as well on Mebe. He said he was having some real issues. His camera kept on getting, the buttons kept switching, and everything kept on kind of glitching out for him, I guess. So he had some real issues, and that was into why he had to retire. So it's unfortunate. Does happen, and hopefully it doesn't happen to him again. So that is the unfortunate reason why he had to retire.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, another driver unfortunately retiring. It looks like Passassin is had a little bit of a spin, but he's coming into the pits now. Let's see, he's got a 5-second speeding penalty as well. I'm expecting he might retire, and he does. So we're now down to 14 runners in tonight's race on lap 17 of 52. Sequit still in front. Tasmanian Devil really hunting him down, though. Black Angel now really catching up to Flying Jippo as well. The conditions have not changed. We're still under the exact same wet tires and everything else. Oh my goodness, Black Angel there. Oh, that was a glitch, but it looked like he just lost the car there for a moment, but he seems to be okay.
Yeah, it looks like Taz and Secret might be. Actually, no, it's definitely, they're definitely attacking each other. But just different types of ways these guys are attacking the track just shows where each one is slightly better. First sector, I would say Taz has got a little bit more set up, whereas I feel like Secret through the straights and just into the last sector, he's just a little bit stronger and gets a little bit of enough gap where Taz can't close up completely enough to maybe send it in and possibly get the lead, because it is hard to try and pass offline here, especially since there is such a good dry line now.
Yeah, these two are not letting off each other at all. Tasmanian Devil and Sequid, they've been right at each other's back very, very long now. I think for a couple of laps, but also, I mean, Mebi was right in between them for about 10 laps or so. And we are now getting close to lap 20 of 52. It's going to be a very, very long race here tonight. But those who are going to finish, those who are going to take the points, I'm sure they're going to be very happy with that. Tasmanian Devil gets the fastest lap of the race there by a few thousandths of a second over Seafreeze's previous fastest lap. And let's see what else is going on here. We do have a couple of cars very close to each other as well. So Stanley's about a second and a half behind Taz. We have Flying Jippo in fourth, about 8 tenths of a second behind him. And Black Angel is 8 tenths of a second behind. Seafreeze in sixth place right now, about 7 tenths of a second behind. So still very close in the top 10 there, and still anybody's race at the front right now. Tasmania Devil and Sequid are still battling it out. So yeah, I'm not sure what else we can talk about right now. You got anything, Kato?
Uh, you know what? Just talk about basically just the way these guys are just racing and how much they're attacking. Like, as you can see right now from Secret and Taz, the amount they're on each other. This is how it's been all season. It's never changed. It's always been Taz making his way from the front, Secret starting closer to the front, and they always seem to just find each other. So this is one where Secret really needs to put the foot down and hold this position, because he is quite a ways off of Taz now in the championship, and I don't believe, or he might barely be holding on to a one of the top three positions right now with some of recent results Secret's been having. So with that being said, if he can get a win here in the 100% Grand Prix, with a wet race, with Tasmanian Mebe and others all been attacking him since basically lap one, it'd be such a brilliant way to kind of bring yourself back in and get that mojo going again.
And they're battling once again. Their Tasmania Devil was thinking about making a move into turn 3, but Sequid managed to defend the position, and now they're battling once again as they're coming into Brooklands and Luffield, but Tasmania is just not close enough, or, you know, Sequid is really defending incredibly well right now, because he's managing to put the car exactly where it needs to be. No touching, no, you know, getting together or anything else like that. It's just really pure racing, concentration and focus, and these guys are just doing an incredible job at you know, racing around this very, very wet track right now. That is something we can't forget about. I mean, these conditions are difficult by themselves in any track, and then put yourself at Silverstone and then in a platinum class of TCR. It is absolutely unbelievable that these guys are managing to keep this sort of pace and keep it on track for this long and give us some brilliant, brilliant battling right now, as Black Angel, Flying Jippo, and Stanley are starting to close up to each other once again, and Seafreeze is not far behind us watching from his onboard, but all of those guys, they can all see the leaders in front of them as well, and they're not really pulling away right now. They're all staying around the same gaps to each other.
Yeah, they are. They're kind of in their own little battle. Obviously, Stanley is kind of just keeping that. I honestly do. I like Stanley's strategy right now. He's and Jippo and Black Angel looks like he's doing the same, and same with Freeze. They're all close enough to the leaders that they know if they keep their tires a little bit more intact, they can go a little bit longer at the end of this stint. Maybe if there is to be a pit stop. We're not sure what's going to happen with these wet tires, how long they're going to last. But if they do start to fall off, the people that have kind of as Secret and Taz are fighting so hard and starting to kind of put a little bit of a gap on them, this really brings them back into play when they have to pit, because at the end of the race they're going to have lesser, or they're going to have not newer, hard, wet, and it just makes a huge difference even in this temperature where, 5 laps really makes a huge difference if you can go that long. So interesting to see with a 100% race how they will make the tires last later on in the race.
And Taz is thinking about going for another move here as they're coming into Stowe. He's going to try around the outside there. Not enough space once again. He's going to use the overtake. He's going to go for another move around the outside this time into Vale and into Club. They're going to be side by side, but Tasmania Dove manages to squeeze through and he's into the lead of the race. But Secret is going to be right on his back now, and he's got a little bit of overtake to use here as they're coming into turn 1. He's not going to be close enough, but that's Tasmanian Devil up into the lead of this race. And Sequid down to second with Stanley in third and only about a second behind. Taz there locking up the wheels a little bit, almost losing the car. This lets Sequid get closer and closer to him, but still not close enough there.
Yeah, if I'm Secret here, I might think about possibly, because I do think and do feel like they're probably gonna have to pit for wet. I don't think they'll go the whole race without pitting. But if that person was smart enough to time it perfectly, so you split it basically right down in the middle. So 52 laps, half of that is 27. So if Secret's smart and he knows he can't get back by him, and he's starting to struggle a little bit with that dirty air now, where he's had no dirty air all race. In 5 laps, if he did pit, those tires are gonna just be the same as they are now. So it might be smarter for him to maybe undercut Tasmanian in order to get the time back, and maybe pull out a gap at the same time with fresher tires.
Yeah, I mean, anything could still happen. I mean, Tasmania Devil could possibly lose the car at any moment with these sort of conditions, and with the tire wear starting to come in a little bit. Sequid could still regain that position. Stanley is really catching up to Sequid now, so it might be the opposite. Maybe that Sequid is starting to feel those that wear of those tires, and maybe Stanley is starting to try and catch up on that. Seafreeze is right on the back of Black Angel as well, and Flying Jippo is right in between them. So there's a lot of people that could still make this go around, and then FYKV is going to be coming into the pits. I think he's actually coming in for a pit stop on lap 23, so just a little bit under halfway through the race.
He's going on inters, I think. Is he? Or no, wets. Okay, wets again. I guess I may have got glitched for a second. I swear I saw green. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But no, he's on.
That would have been exciting. Yeah, I mean, if somebody will fit the intermediate tires, I think it will launch like a dominoes effect where everybody else are going to try and fit them on as soon as they can as well.
Yeah, I just don't think they can, because if you look at the last sector right now, it's so weird. Other places on track, the rain's kind of hard, but that last sector looks like it's a lot worse than it is in the first sector or the second sector, with the rain coming down. So that might be the reason why they're not. And this also could be the reason why some of these guys are not pitting, is because they're hoping maybe if the rain loosens up a little bit, they know more than we do, that there might be intermediate weather coming, so you don't want to do wet to wet where someone stays on a one stop and it works out where they can go wet to inters and you have to pit again. It's just kills your race. So also that to look out for. So interesting, really interesting with the race, but Tasmanians really starting to pull away from Secret.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap forming there. 1.2 seconds, 1.4 seconds now between Taz and Secret. So I think Secret is starting to struggle a little bit either with the dirty air behind Tasmanian Devil, or maybe just all around with the conditions and with the tire wear. Assassin has now left the session, but he did DNF a little bit ago, a few laps ago there, unfortunately, and so he was our fifth DNF of this race, or sixth DNF actually of this race. So we're down to 14 runners. With Sequit in second place, Tasmanian in first, and then Stanley starting to close up to Sequit slowly but surely, down to 6/10 of a second now. So he's closing up on certain parts, but then losing a little bit of time as well in some other corners. I think everybody's starting to feel a little bit of tire wear now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Interesting to note, the fastest lap has actually been set by Mr. Joshua, 41.1, which is actually, if I look at it, oh wait, oh that's okay, sorry. But yeah, that's the fastest lap currently on the track, and that's actually about 10th and a half up on Tasmanian Devil's best. So maybe look out for him, maybe possibly if there's a safety car to kind of come back into it a little bit more. Or even a VSC. I mean, a VSC could be very crucial, but looks like now Flying Jippo, KGB, and Freeze, they're all close enough, and with Stanley and Sequit, it looks like Taz is just checked out. He's just gone.
And just said the fastest lap of the race with a 140.9, so he is very, very quick right now, 2.7 seconds clear of Sequit. And as soon as he gets out into clean air, that's pretty much game over there. So we'll see if anybody makes another move there on Tasmanian Devil. But Seafreeze was trying to make a move on Black Angel, didn't quite work out. He's still in sixth place, but still very, very close to this huge train of cars that is pretty much battling all the way up to second place, up to Sequit right now. So that is very exciting. FYKV 140.6 for another fastest lap there. Seafreeze almost losing the car on the exit of one of the corners there. It sounded like the back wheels just started spinning out on him, but he manages to save it.
Yeah, interesting to know. Keep an eye on what FYKV is doing right now with times. If he keeps on consistently pumping in those laps, I mean, Tasmanian Devil looks like he's no needing to even think about coming into the pits right now with the times he's been doing. But guys like maybe Bamboo and Deathwish really want to look out at that, because FYTV is going to be clawing back a ton of time right now with this fresh tread, and very fresh tread. And it's just going to make a huge difference later on in the race. Obviously, the guys will have better tires, but if they wait a while to come in, it could cost them position-wise and time that you might not be able to gain back that quickly.
Absolutely, and Sequit now 3.5, or sorry, Tasmanian Devil 3.6 seconds clear of Sequit now. So yeah, I mean, he is just getting that fresh or that clean air, and he's just pumping in some really, really good laps right now. Black Angel there having a really big a little moment there on the back end of the car. And now Seafreeze is thinking about coming around the outside or into the inside of the next corner. There's gonna be some contact, and Seafreeze is gonna.
There was nothing you could do about that. Yeah, that was just unfortunately what I seen was KGB did not leave enough space where Freeze was up enough of his inside to give it there, and it was kind of the game code, kind of putting them into each other a little bit more. But it shouldn't have been damaged for either of them. And now we can see if Freeze can catch up and maybe even pass Flying Yippo and catch up to the tail of Stanley and Secret. So Tasmanian Devil is just checking out. 4 seconds, 4.1. It's just gaining. This is immaculate.
And we are now halfway through this race. We still got another 26 laps to go, and judging by the time right now, we've been in this race for almost 50 minutes. So that means there's another 45 minutes or so to go in this race. I'm really hoping we might see some clearer conditions, but as it looks right now, there's absolutely no sign of that happening. It is just coming down. It is very, very rainy, very wet. And still, these drivers are managing to put on some really good shows, some really good battles. Bamboo's just overtaken Death with Tricky, who's going into the pits. I think Death with Tricky is going to be fitting out some new tires as well. FYKV has made that work for himself, so maybe that might work for some other drivers as well. But in the top 10 or 9 or so, nobody else has pitted for any new rubber yet. So I'm interested to see who's going to be the first one to take that and who's going to be the one that sort of leads the rest of them into the pits if the other ones decide to even respond at all.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think Taz would wait for everyone to pit, I would think. To make sure at least he comes out where he is in clean fresh air. I don't think he's got any reason to right now. But if Secret was to quickly respond, a lot of people are coming in now at the back, so it could be interesting to see if everyone is going to do what I said, just split the race in half and have two sets basically doing the same amount of the race. But Taz looks like he's going to continue on. See if Secret might pit. No. But he's got Stanley right on him.
Yeah, Stanley was
And
trying to
it's
make a move there, but wasn't quite close enough. And now he's also got Flying Jippo right on the back of him. But these guys are battling it out for what is second place at the moment. And Seafreeze is up into fifth place, and he's not too far behind either. So all of these guys could still do something here tonight. There's a car there, an Alfa Romeo letting everybody through. So everybody there is
yeah.
now lapping the Alfa Romeo of, I think, 007.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But obviously, that will change once if everyone does have to pit. That will obviously guarantee them at least finish ahead of hopefully the leaders, but you never know because Tasmanian is just absolutely on another level. I mean, you can't even set it any other way. He's pulling out in about 8 laps or less. It was about I think it was about 6 laps or 5 laps. He's pulled out a 7 second lead and gaining. And Secret is definitely struggling. Flying Jippo has actually got past Stanley. So I want to see maybe if Secret really does think about pitting this lap. Oh, he goes really wide. Really, really struggling Secret is.
And now he's got his own teammate Flying Jippo right behind him and gaining on him pretty quickly. Now Stanley lost that position to Flying Jippo just a few seconds ago, but he's not far behind him either, so he's going to be able to possibly catch up and get into this little fight. But I'm interested to see, yeah, it looks like Sequit, yeah, Sequit's coming into the pits now.
Wow, what a time from Taz. This just shows yeah, this is just incredible. 9 second gap to second place. And it's not just from the fact of anything. This is from what he has done. Oh, and around goes Chatty Duck, actually, as well. So, Chatty Duck's just lost it on those new set of wets, too. That's interesting. Oh, really looks like he's struggling now.
So Sequid and KGB Black Angel have decided to pit. They're both coming out on fresh, wet tires right now. Sequid is going to be in 6th or 7th place, and KGB is going to be in 8th. No, Sequid manages to get up to 6th there after coming out of the pits. But out in front, Tasmanian Devil, almost 10 seconds clear of Flying Jippo. That is absolutely incredible, with Stanley and Seafreeze in 3rd and 4th right now, right behind Flying Jippo, and they're still putting on some pressure. So this is still going to go right to the end here for the podium positions for sure, but as long as Tasmanian Devil doesn't make any major mistakes, he seems like he is in a very comfortable position here tonight. He's comfortable with the car, comfortable with the tires. He doesn't feel like he needs to pit for anything yet because he's still gaining time. So we're just gonna keep watching what he's gonna do, and as long as I said, as he doesn't make any mistakes, that's gonna be 6 out of 6 in season 11. That's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, it is he just keeps on setting the fastest lap times. I mean, right now it doesn't matter what anyone is doing, whether they have new tires or not. It'll be interesting to see the type of times KGB and Secret are going to set right now. But the gap is steadily staying around 35 seconds right now. So I'm keeping an eye on that because if he gets it down to about 30 or even 28 seconds, this is a long pit stop, long pit lane as well. This is one of, I think, the longest for the whole season. Definitely one of them. So definitely gives you a lot of time. So it looks like right now Taz is going to come out obviously clear, but it depends on how long he waits to do it. That is the crucial thing.
And we're watching as Seafree is currently running in P4, trying to close up to Stanley, about 6 tenths behind him at the moment, and could definitely make a move on him in the next few laps here, and maybe even the next few corners. We'll have to wait and see, as again, those guys at the front who have not pitted yet, I'm sure they're going to start feeling at least some sort of an effect from the tire wear. Even though the game says these tires can make it through the whole race, sometimes the game isn't really very accurate. So I'm sure that these guys, with the experience they have and them being in Platinum class, they can really figure that one out. But Tasmanian Devil 140.0, absolutely destroying the fastest laps right now. 11.4 seconds clear.
Secret set in the purple middle sector has gained only about 3 tenths to Taz currently, so this might be quicker than what Taz is doing and might put us into the 139s, but it's not enough right now in order to close the gap to Taz. Taz is absolutely flying.
And there's Secret with the fastest lap. Yeah.
Wow.
That is very, very quick, but again, he is a far way back. He's got a lot of work to do, and we'll just have to wait and see, because we still got a long way to go as well. We still got 21 laps to go in this race. 100% race here tonight. We normally do 50% races, but tonight we've decided to have another special event in Season 11 of Trinity Competitive Racing. We still got a few more special events coming up this season, so stay tuned for that. And to everybody who's watching this, again, we do apologize for not being able to stream this one live to you guys tonight. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with YouTube not wanting to cooperate, but thanks to everybody who might be watching this after, and leave us a like, leave us some comments, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. We would really appreciate that. And also check out the links in the description of this video. We've got a link there for our affiliate sponsor Fanatec, and check out their amazing equipment. You'll be helping out the league if you purchase any, and you'll also be helping out your sim rig, because their equipment is absolutely incredible. Other than that, we also have a link in there for the TCR shop. We have some merchandise provided to us by Sticky Fingers Canada. Mainly right now, we've started off with a couple of different lines of stickers, Season 10 and Season 11 stickers. There's 12 different designs in a sticker pack, and they're only a few bucks, so check them out on the TCR shop. And again, you'll be doing us a huge favor in supporting the league, supporting all of these drivers, and allowing us to do special events like today with the 100% race. With everything else that we've got going on in Season 11, I think it's been a great season so far. We're pretty much midway through the season now. We're only running 12 races in this particular Season 11, but with the anticipation of the new game, as the announcement came out today, it's going to be coming out in July, so it's not very far away, and I'm hoping that Season 12 might be on the new game. That would be absolutely exciting and amazing, but that just depends on how quickly everybody is able to purchase it and able to switch over to it and get themselves ready. So we'll be hoping for that. Stay tuned for all of those updates, but right now we're on lap 32 of 52 here in round 6 of Season 11 of TCR in the Platinum class, with Tasmanian Devil leading by 13.2 seconds, with Flying Jippo in second place and Stanley half a second behind Flying Jippo, trying to regain that position.
really nice on the first thing about the F1 game, having it come out when it does. Because by the time we're done season 11, the game I believe would just be possibly coming out? Or do we end just before it? Either way, it comes out just as the game starts, so it working perfectly to kind of the off season and getting those setups on the new game all accounted for your season to come out and get some practicing. Be cool. I can't wait. But for this 100% Grand Prix so far, you got 33 laps gone and still a little bit to go, but definitely feels like Tasmanian Devil has got this kind of on cruise control right now. I'm absolutely impressed by everyone who is not and is yet to pit, because that is a lot of laps to do on one set of wet tires in those conditions that they were in.
Yeah, and Seafreeze, by not pitting yet, he's made his way up into third place and right behind Stanley right now, about 9 tenths of a second behind and closing very, very slowly there. So he's in a really good chance right now to possibly end up on the podium here tonight if he doesn't pit. Now, if he does pit, he does have a clearance to Sequit of about 18 and a half seconds. It's not going to be enough for a pit stop and come out and keep your place, but he might be close enough to still be within that battle. And of course, he's going to have fresher tires, so he might be able to utilize some of that additional pace to regain some positions. But in these conditions, it's super hard to really say. Strategy sort of goes out, out of the game altogether, and you just have to play it by whatever's going on track.
Well, it's also interesting to see if maybe and Seafreeze might be one person to maybe honestly try it today, but a no stop, because you're getting to the point now where these guys are consistently not going like as slow as the guy behind them. Like Secret's closing a gap on them, but it's not a rate like that is outstanding. It's quite a big gap still. And if that stays around where it is long enough, and the tires can stay, is Seafreeze, Mr. Joshua, or Stanley, or even Taz? Maybe Taz doesn't want to pit either. All these guys staying out, maybe they don't pit and they try and stay pitting, because right now, Secret's really not closing the gap as quickly as I would have thought, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And the Tasmania Devil, sorry, keeps on finding more and more pace on the track. He keeps on increasing about 2 to 3 tenths every single lap on Stanley. So there isn't really a reason for him to pit right now. I guess that's what he would be feeling like. As long as those tires keep on lasting and they keep on giving you the pace that they are, yeah, keep on running on them. Why not? But I think there's also, a switchover point where you have to figure out if you are going to pit or not, if you are starting to lose some time out in front, because right now he's got 15 seconds to Stanley, he's got about 20 seconds to Sequit, so right now he does have enough of a gap to possibly pit and come out still in the lead, or in a provisional lead, so to speak, in the net lead of the race, considering that possibly Seafreeze and Stanley and Joshua will still be pitting. But if anybody decides to not pit, as you mentioned, they're gonna flip everything all around. But honestly, I'm seeing as Seafreeze comes out of corners and putting down that power, the car is not really loving the tires right now, and the tires are not really connecting to the track as much as they were at the start. So 35 laps. It's incredible that these guys have just been able to do this long on a single set of tires altogether. But Tasmanian Devil, especially, just still pulling out time after you've done 35 laps on the same tire. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is interesting to note. Freeze did actually set his best lap of the Grand Prix on lap 33, which was one lap before that. And he's set his best first sector so far Currently, obviously, coming into the last sector now, so he's quite close to what his fastest lap was. So, doesn't look like the tires. They might be losing grip, but they're not really losing much time as he only goes 0.035 off of his best time so far. Obviously, nothing close to what Taz and Secret are doing, but with Secret currently only doing 139.8 and struggling a little bit for grip right now. It looks like just the track is maybe getting a little bit wet again, so this might be the time where they're just being smarter because it does look like the rain is starting to come down a little bit more now. Starting to kind of come down a little bit more aggressively again. So who
And
knows?
here comes FYKV making a move on Bamboo, or at least trying to make a move. Bamboo defends to the inside of the next left-hander, and FYKV is gonna try and go around the outside. This is the first battle we've seen in a little bit here. FYKV keeping the outside, using the curbs on the outside there. He's gonna be just in front of Bamboo, but then Bamboo just goes right in front of him as they're coming into the next corner there, and Bamboo manages to keep the position for now. So wow, a nice little battle going on here for P8 and FYKV on those fresher tires. He is trying to close up some positions, but as you mentioned, he's not really closing up as quickly as we would have imagined. And Sequit is still in fifth place and still 12.2 seconds behind Joshua.
Yeah, and Taz just keeps on setting consistent times. He's just consistently in the 139s now or low 140s. He's just these tires do not look like they have lost any life whatsoever. They look like he's just can't. I don't know how he's done this, but I right now I feel like he might just pit maybe at the end, just when maybe the race and there's a dry enough line to just put on some inters just to set a quickest lap or even maybe put on some tires to set a quicker lap. But right now it doesn't look like he has any need or want to pit. If I was in his kind of condition, he's in clear air, nothing to worry about. Everyone behind him, he's basically just gapping. Secret has taken out since his pit stop about 3.5, 4 seconds in about I think it was what 10 laps, maybe a few less, but that just shows how quick Paz is really going.
Yeah, he's 17.7 seconds clear. That is absolutely incredible. And FYKV has just made a move on Bamboo and made it stick, and he's up into 8th place. So right now we are on lap 38 of 52. We're only have 14 more laps to go, which seems like nothing really considering that we've been already racing for 38 laps. That is quite a distance. That is 16 or 12 more laps than we would have done in 50%, and we still got 14 more to go. So get ready, to keep on watching for another little bit. I think we've probably got another half an hour of racing to come here as Tasmanian Devil almost 19 seconds clear of Stanley. So I think right now he's working out enough of a gap to pretty much pit and come out still in first place. Or maybe he's waiting to see if Stanley or Seafreeze decide to pit, because then that's pretty much him having a pit stop in the pocket and nothing to worry about. But Seafreeze is starting to close up on Stanley now. He sort of gets within about 3 or 4 tenths of a second and then drops back to down to about 7 tenths of a second in certain corners, especially around Luffield and Brooklands. He seems to be losing a little bit of time and then gaining into the second and third sectors. So we'll keep an eye on Seafreeze. He started down, I think, in 12th or somewhere around there, or 11th, and he's made up quite a few positions right now. Has not pitted yet. But Tasmanian Devil hasn't pitted yet either. Neither has Stanley. Neither has Joshua. But Sequid, Black Angel, Flying Jippo, FYKV, I think everybody else pretty much has already made their stop. Bamboo has not stopped. F1 Racer and Mick Marcotti have not made their stops yet either.
And Taz just set the fastest lap of the race on lap 39, or to start lap 39, should I say? So, yeah, I think we can clearly say, and his lap was 2 tenths quicker than KGB's on a new set of wets. So this is just, I can't even, I don't know what to say right now. This is just pace from a man that is basically in prime, and I mean prime condition right now. I mean, he is just, ever since that last Grand Prix last season, the finale, he's just absolutely coming through the season and won every race. And like you said, 6 for 6, and I believe it would be 7 technically in a row if I'm correct, if you would account
Yep.
for last season with today. So that just shows right now what he is bringing and what work he has put into to improve himself. I don't even know if he's done any weather racing around here. I would hope so. I would hope he at least has a setup and he's been comfortable with it. But from what we've seen today, it's just been not the best qualifying. I definitely can attest to that. But ever since this race started, just absolutely flying. But might be his tires starting to have a little bit of an issue, as definitely for that last corner he had a little bit of a slide out on the rear, but obviously no hurry to pit for him, I would say, and he's probably got enough of a gap now to definitely clear everyone once they pit.
Now, I wanted to ask for your opinion on this because, this is something that I personally experienced when we were switching between F1 2019 to 2020 to then to 21. In F1 19, I was, relatively quick, but then 2020 came, or sorry, in 2018 and then 19, like the previous game, the older game was, I wasn't too quick, but then in 19, I became much quicker on that game. I just sort of connected with it a little bit quicker and found how to sort of utilize it and use the handling model and everything else like that. Whereas when we switched over to F1 2020, I definitely had a little bit of a struggle, especially for season 10, so last season of TCR. Compared to season 9 of my performances there, it just completely dropped off a cliff. I felt like I couldn't drive in this game. I couldn't understand the handling model, or I couldn't understand where to find the time. So, do you think that's something that possibly is helping out Tasmanian Devil as well? Maybe he's just really feeling, connected well to this particular game, to this handling model. Could that be something that might completely be switched around in 21?
It's absolutely possible, yes. The same with other people who have notably seen changes from 19 to 20, and have said the same thing. Freeze was obviously one of them. One of the reasons, obviously, he took a break for a bit was he just wasn't feeling the love for the game anymore the way he was before that. And that just comes down to basically setups. They did change. They've changed basically ever since 17, where and I think 18, where you had the ballast still, so you had the kind of balancing the car a little bit more. You could control that, whether it was wet or certain tracks. You could kind of make that car more stable in a way, help yourself. When that got taken out of the game, a lot of people struggled at first to get setups because the setups were basically you were making the setup to get your car to feel the most comfortable for you and to gain the most time. And that does take time to gather. And then with this game, there was a lot more changes. The ERS changed, the way that worked, you had to figure it out. Qualifying, same thing. And then how much fuel you'd use at certain tracks, what wings work as tracks and the game kind of updated. Wing setups could kind of change too. So you kind of have to stay ahead of the game with the tweaking of your setups. And that's why I feel like Taz is just on a different level to everyone else this season. He's taken the information he had from the last race of last season, and he's basically attacked this calendar this year. He's 10 laps currently away from another victory, taking 6 out of 6, 7 out of 7, obviously the last season again. So, yeah, I do feel like Taz is he's just connected with this game. But next game, if he doesn't stay on top of it, and you don't know what changes there might be towards setups and how the gameplay works, and with everything, and this arrow change as well that the game is implemented probably, I'm sure, with the new models of the cars, how they're going to work, what car is going to work well for you. It's all about the balance of the driver, the car, and the setup. It is everything. People don't think just because it's equal, there's so many differences still. The comfortability you have in certain cars will make you race better. And that's just what I feel for myself. I don't know about yourself. If you can put yourself in anything and be fast, and that's cool, but I feel like certain cars I just feel more comfortable and more suited to.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. With every game that I've played in Formula One games, it's been quite a few of them now, and every game it feels a little bit different in terms of handling, in terms of the controls, in terms of how you set up the car, like you mentioned, and everything else like that. So, yeah, I think it's a huge factor, and just like with the regulation changes in Formula One, like the drivers have to adjust to a brand new car every season with, maybe some small minor regulations coming to change, but sometimes it's major ones. There's a lot of drivers in Formula One that have to do or had to go through about 3 different generations of cars now, and now, of course, we're going to have another generation of completely different cars for next season in real F1. But with the new F1 game, it's going to implement the sort of regulations that came into effect in this season of real F1. So, as you mentioned, that aero change could possibly, change completely how the car feels on track, and that could be massive. But I wanted to ask something related to the race here tonight. So, we are now on pretty much 10 laps away from the finish. Is there even a point now for Tasmanian Devil or Seafreeze or Stanley or anybody else to pit, or are they pretty much now set to taking it until the end of the race?
The only thing I could see of them pitting is if the tires get up to 80% and over that, where they can get into punch territory. Other than that, I don't see these guys pitting. I think they're going to try and stay out and see if they can win the podium. Now, one thing to note, Seafood just set an absolutely obliterating time. 1:38.8, I just seen him set the fastest lap of the race. So, I think he's now finally said, you know what, I'm not winning this race, and it doesn't look like they're going to pit, so I guess it's time to move it. And he has been saving fuel for a while, so I think he'll be good to go to the end, and he might even be cranking up the fuel on the straights and everywhere that he can, just to gain as much time as he can, as quickly as he can, to maybe try and save a podium here if they don't indeed pit. Because I don't think they are. I don't see, like in dry weather, obviously you can see tire drain a little bit better. But right now, I just don't see it. And Taz has just set a purple first sector on lap 44. I don't think these tires are going to die ever.
Yeah, I think these tires are like the Formula E tires that they use for like 4 races in a row for qualifying the race and everything else, and they just don't die. So it's absolutely incredible. I mean, the technology is there. Like they can make these tires last forever. But I think to add more to the strategy and to the race sort of unpredictability, that's where they make those tires not last as much as they can.
Oh!
Oh, did somebody go off?
Chatty. That could have been bad actually for Taz. So, kind of lucky where Chatty, sorry, came off. Definitely lost it out of Maggots and Beckett's and just saved it from hitting a wall, actually. I was very impressed that he saved it. Got it under control, and luckily nothing came of it, but just some people have this track set up right now to, and that's what I feel like Tasmanian did. Where Secret was quickest in qualifying because he was probably running a lower downforce setup or a drier setup, Taz might have thought strategic and said, look, I may not have the straight line pace to beat him, but I will have better tire grading. I will have the ability to kind of just even out the playing field, and he's certainly shown that. So I do believe setup is really the difference in this race and what has shown to why Taz, Stanley, and even Seafreeze and Joshua have been able to stay out for this long on the same tires. I do not think Joshua has pit either yet as well. So Secret's definitely catching up to Joshua, but I don't know if he can get up to Stanley and pass them all. I do think this is going to be a tough task for him.
Only 7 more laps to go in tonight's Grand Prix as we're doing 100% race, so the full 52 laps around Silverstone. It's been one hell of a race so far. There was a lot of battling up until about lap 35 or so, where people started to sort of break apart a little bit, especially with Tasmanian Devil. As soon as he got in front of Stanley, he was absolutely gone. 24 seconds ahead of him now, with Seafreeze in third, only about 8 tenths of a second behind Stanley, and still possibly in a position to try and take that second place. But either way, if Seafreeze finishes here in third tonight, that's an amazing performance. Great podium finish from starting in around 11th or 12th place here, I think. So he's done an incredible job to recover back. We've also got a couple of other drivers in a little bit of battle right now. Mick Marcodi in 12th, about half a second behind F1 Racer. Bamboo about 8 tenths of a second behind Death with Tricky, battling for 9th place there. So yeah, we're coming down to pretty much the closing stages of this Grand Prix here tonight, and Tasmanian Devil has again just absolutely stolen the show, dominated it, not from start to finish this time. He did not have a great qualifying, did have to make his way through the field, did take him almost half of the race to make it out into the lead again, but once he did it, he was absolutely gone, completely checked out, as Kano said, and now 25 seconds clear of Stanley with only 6 more laps to go. Bamboo now closing up to death with Tricky, right to the back of him now within about 3 tenths of a second. Let's take a look here at the stops once again. So the top 4 have not made a pit stop. F1 Racer and Mick Marcodi have not made a pit stop, but other than that, everybody else has switched on to the fresh rubber. So I guess the game was correct for once you're at the predicted pit strategy. As it said, you could do 0 stops.
Yeah, and obviously you still have a few left, so these guys in front are begging that the tires don't come off, but it just doesn't look like they're really graining at all. Really, if I look at Taz's tires, he's still setting, similar times. He had a 39.0 last lap, and Secret is setting the fast lap, but with those new tires, has it really made up the difference? I'd have to say it hasn't. He obviously felt like possibly that everyone would pit, but he's on the back of Joshua now and possibly will get a move, but let's see how long it takes to get by him, because as soon as you get behind a car, it just changes your whole dynamic of the car. You get understeer where you might have not had before, or oversteer depending, and it just is so much more difficult without that DRS to make the move. But let's see what he can do here. Let's see how quickly he can get past Joshua.
He's really pushing right now, and he's using his overtake. He's gonna go side by side into Kopp's corner.
Wow.
That was very
What
very
a
close.
move.
and Sequid is up into 4th place with only 5 more laps to go in tonight's race. That's a pretty good position, but again, as Kano mentioned there, that pitting strategy didn't really work out for Sequid. He was possibly building on the fact that everybody else is going to make a pit stop as well, but unfortunately he's only made his way up into 4th place after coming out in 7th at the end of his pit stop. So Seafreeze, Stanley, Tasmanian Devil, those guys are really gaining some advantage here tonight by not making a pit stop. But Sequid is now 2.7 seconds clear, or behind Seafreeze. So he could still possibly close up if he's got some more pace still left in those newer tires. He might be able to challenge for a podium. But I think, judging by the current pace of Seafreeze and Stanley, that might not be as easy as that sounds. So we'll keep an eye on all of that as we are now only 4 more laps away from the checkered flag.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end now. We've seen so much happen. This has been one of the longest races, definitely that I've ever commentated myself, and Secret really is starting to apply the pressure to these guys now, and this possibly could come down to who plays it smarter. Let's put it that way, actually. Freeze, if he times it correctly, could use Sequit as a bumper to try and get past Stanley. Because Stanley and him have the same amount of probably tire life, or around the same, and all that. It's really going to come down to who plays it smarter, and if Sequit does catch up and makes a move on both of them, is there the possibility that he could do, as Freeze could possibly just basically time it perfectly, where Sequit starts to make a move, he goes through and gets himself on the podium still, basically.
And just wanted to mention quickly, Tasmanian Devil has gone into the pits. And Stanley is just about on the start-finish straight right now. They're gonna make up that position. I think Seafreeze might be going through as well for second place. He does. And even Sequid up into 3rd after Taz decided to pit there, and the dying moments of this Grand Prix with 3 laps to go. I think he might have decided to pit for the danger of the tire wear getting a little bit too high, and now he's trying to make a decision. Oh, Sequid lost the car and just caught the front of Tasmanian Devil, and he is off, and it looks like he's hit the wall on the exit of that corner as well. So Sequid, oh my goodness, that was a crazy moment there, and no fault of Tasmanian Devil there, I wouldn't say, because it looked like Sequid just lost the back end of the car, and then it snapped back on him, and Tasmanian Devil was just in a really unfortunate place there, and caught out the back of Sequid's car to help him spin it around, and around he went. So Tasmanian Devil back into 3rd, but now he's still got Seafreeze and Stanley to overtake to get that win here tonight.
Yeah, but he's got so much more ERS and that tire grip. But with what has happened, he lost quite a bit of time. Now, we're coming down to, what, 2 laps
and he did lose a piece of his front wing, actually. Looking at his front wing, he's missing an end plate. Oh, and we have a car off! Mercedes. We have a Mercedes off! And who was that? Was that Joshua? It is Joshua. Joshua with a massive spin.
I don't know if the track's now really too dry. Because I'm even watching Taz's. Although he's catching up to the guys ahead of him, it's not at a exaggerating rate as much as I thought it would be, but...
Well, isn't this exciting? Now. 2 laps to go. Yeah. Taz, I think, just maybe he was feeling a little bit bored, and he decided to spice up this race here tonight for the last few laps. Sorry, but that decision to pit, that just turned the race upside down. He's within a second of Seafreeze, but that doesn't matter in these conditions. There's no DRS.
No, and the main thing here is Stanley's pulling away from Freeze now. So I don't know if Stanley was maybe trying to save his tires to the end, or if Seafreeze is maybe trying to wait till that last lap to attack. But no matter what, I mean, let's just take a hand. If they make it the whole way, 50 laps they have done on these tires. And now you're going to have Tasmanian Devil on brand new wet tires, and he is coming now at a rate of knots. So, whatever happens here, absolutely phenomenal from these two in front.
Yeah,
here.
I think.
And Taz obviously with the extra stop, but just the fact that they're trying to go the whole Grand Prix, amazing.
Yeah, I think if I was in the shoes of Seafreeze or Stanley right now, my only thought would be just bring it home. Just bring it home. Keep the position you're in. I don't care about attacking or overtaking. I just want to make it home without Taz overtaking. But Taz is 4 tenths behind Seafreeze right now as they're coming through the arena corners of turn 4 and 5. And this is still not over. Tasmanian Devil is very, very close. He's got the ERS. He's down to about 25% right now. He's not close enough to make a move on Seafreeze just yet, but the top three are pretty much, at equal gaps from each other. It's showing Taz being 3 or 4 tenths behind, but honestly, from where we're looking at right now, Seafreeze isn't that far away from Stanley either.
No, and brilliant job from everyone. Obviously, Taz has basically used everything now, so everyone's on the similar amount of ERS as each other. So this truly comes down to tires, grip, and how much you can push the car right now. So looks like Taz can push it, but doesn't look like he's incredibly that much faster than these guys. That's what I'm seeing the difference as. And I was definitely surprised he pit. But, I mean, not me who would think to do that, but we're coming down to the last lap here, and we do have a battle, and we have a clear battle, a three-way battle for the lead on this last lap, as here comes Taz now.
Oh! Sequin just weaved over. Yeah, yep. Seafreeze weaved over there to defend for a second. I'm not sure if that's gonna like that. He's gonna go down the inside. There's gonna be some contact there, but Seafreeze gonna come back at him down the inside again. More contact there, more touching. Seafreeze actually went down into neutral there somehow. They're still side by side. Oh my goodness, this is so close, but Tasmania Devil manages to squeeze ahead into second place. But now Seafreeze is not giving up just yet. He's gonna come back at him again down the inside. Another little touch there. And Tasmania Devil now, oh my goodness, this is just going back and forth.
I think at this point it's the last lap. You're battling for second and third, and at this stage, honestly, I say all for it. I mean, it was more will to will than actual contact, but definitely touch and go. But that just let Stanley come out, and he's now got a 2-second gap. And it looks like for the first, is it the first time this season?
Yeah.
Or the first time ever?
The first time this
first
season.
Win in platinum. Have you won platinum before? Yes, we did last season, right?
I'm not sure, but we're gonna have the first other winner other than Tasmanian Devil in 6 rounds of racing in Season 1. Here comes Stanley on the last corner, crosses the line, wins this race. Tasmanian Devil is going to have to do with second. Seafreeze is going to be in third on the podium with Sequid 8.4 seconds behind them in 4th position. KGB Black Angel is going to be 5th. Joshua is going to be 6th. Flying Jippo is going to be 7th. FYKV in 8th. Bamboo in 9th. Death with Tricky in 10th. Taking that last point. There's still some position changes going on. Mick Marcodi and F1 Racer battling for some last points here. Or no, actually, they're out of the points. So they're just battling for 11th place on track here right now. They are still only coming through the second sector. That's how far away the leaders were. Mick Marcodi manages to get that position up into 11th place. but that is an absolutely incredible performance from Stanley, managing to hold on to the win there at the end. And I gotta say, if Tasmanian Devil would have not pitted, he would have very, very, very comfortably won this race here today. But it's Stanley on the top step, and for the first time in season 11 in Platinum class, it is not Tasmanian Devil with a win. It is Stanley with a win. Tasmanian Devil settles for second, and Seafreeze in his return to racing in TCR for this event gets a podium finish in third place. Absolutely incredible performance from those guys.
Alright, I just want to put this in here too. This is the first time Stanley has won in Platinum. It's not his first time in TCR. But I believe it's the first race in about, I want to say, almost 10 races where we have had a new driver win a race. It hasn't been Taz, it hasn't been Seafreeze or Breezy or Secret or any of those guys. I believe this is the first time in at least 10 races that we have had a new Platinum, first time winner in Platinum as well.
So that's awesome to see. This is pretty much like a Sergio Perez moment or like a Pierre Gasly moment that we had last season. Incredible to see a brand new driver in Platinum class winning a race on the top step. Tasmanian Devil in second, Seafreeze in third, and wow, I mean, I can't believe we actually managed to make it until the end of 52 laps, 100% race here in Britain for this round tonight. But it was an incredible race. Secret manages to get the fastest lap of the race with a 138.3. But Stanley with the win, Tasmanian Devil with the second, Seafreeze in third, Secret in fourth, Black Angel in fifth, Joshua in sixth, Flying Jippo in seventh, FYKV in eighth, Bamboo in ninth, Death with Tricky gets the last point of the race in 10th, Big Marcodi in 11th, F1 Racer in 12th, 007 in 13th, and Chatty Duck was the last finisher on the track in 14th place. We unfortunately lost Assassin, Mabby, Warriorins, Crooner, Go-To Guy, and GTR Lion. And important to mention, Mabby was running in second place, where he unfortunately had to leave this race here tonight. So it could have been a little bit of a different finishing position there at the top, but it's Stanley stealing that win right towards the end. Started in third place, finished in first, but Tasmanian Devil also started in ninth and up in second place. Seafreeze from 11th to the podium. What an incredible performance. Wow, I mean, I am really tired. I'm completely out of words, but we're still going to hear from our drivers here tonight in the post-race interviews, so we'll get them into the lobby here in just a second.
I can add them in. I actually have to take off now. I didn't realize it was 100% Grand Prix tonight, so I won't be able to stick around for interviews. But
no problem.
Give them my best, and I will wish people appeared online. That would be nicer for us. I got it. We got Freeze. It would load, and I got Tasmanian, but Tasmanian doesn't appear online. And then do you have Stanley as a friend?
Let me take a look here. I'm actually just looking through. Yeah, there we go. So I've added Stanley already.
Alright, I'm just trying to get PlayStation to give me some luck. So I can add Taz. Oh, there we go. PlayStation at its finest. Let me get the other one. I can go make some food because I have not eaten yet and I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Kano. And yeah, we'll see you hopefully next week.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You will not be missing me from this. So there's
Awesome.
no way.
All right. Well, unfortunately, Connor can't stick around for the post-race interviews, but I did see a couple of the drivers joining up already. I do see Seafreeze has just joined the voice chat here. Seafreeze, well, first of all, welcome back again to TCR Racing. I know it's possibly maybe just for tonight, or maybe you're gonna start racing here in TCR again? I guess let's start with that question.
Well, firstly, oh wait, why do I have you muted? How do I not hear you? Wait, hold up. Unmute. Oh, you there?
Yeah, that's just me.
Oh,
That's my
alright.
mic.
Oh, that's your mic. See, it's been a little while, Blinn. It's been a little while. Trying to do the PlayStation. I had to plug it in this week. Oh man, to be honest, I don't know. I had a lot of fun. Even though it was full wet, I dreaded that. That's why me and the officials were talking about, maybe we, put it dry or whatever, and we had to vote, and everyone's like, oh, why would you want to do that? And then it fully rained, and everyone's complaining, and we're like, we gave you the vote. So this particular instance didn't happen. But let me tell you, it was challenging for sure. Especially my first, race since Mexico finale. I literally just picked the game up 2 weeks ago to start F1 again. I took like a 3-month break off and came back, and I wanted to do the 100% race because last year I put a lot of practice in. I love Britain, and I got disconnected when I joined back in. The game decided to put me in the wall at Stowe at 200 miles per hour, and I never got the opportunity to do the 100% race. So that's why I wanted to do it here in this season. I like the podium, but man, I mean, congrats to Stanley too. I mean, you had some pace at the end, not cracking under pressure. I mean, I feel like I could have snagged the win. But I mean, I'll take a podium for sure. Yeah, it's a little crazy. If it was dry, I would have probably had a lot better of an opportunity, because that's all the practice I did. I don't even know if I've done full wet ever. So I don't know. It was fun. We'll see how it goes and if I want to do any more. But huge thanks to a little shout out to my teammate last year, Kersey, for being my crew chief for the race. So he gave me a lot of good info, and a nice setup on the fly. 11th to 3rd, coming back, is probably a very nice race for me come back. So I don't know. It was fun, but nerve-wracking.
Well, I think you summarized it really well there. I'm
Thank you.
not even sure what to ask anymore, but towards the end there, when Tasmanian Devil was about to overtake you, you guys had a little bit of a battle, a couple of wheel-to-wheel touches. Looked like maybe it could have gotten a little bit ugly, but you guys managed to keep it together. Was that sort of you were trying to defend for everything you had, or did you really feel like maybe you had the pace to hold on to that second place?
Well, I knew like towards the end, I knew as long as Stanley didn't make any mistakes, he had the win. After Taz pitted, I was holding on to P2 because I didn't know. I actually wasn't keeping an eye on the gap behind. I know some things happened. I don't know. It's kind of it was full wet. I'm no line, just coming back. I didn't really maybe missed a breaking point or two. We had a few things. I mean, he had the position in the end, so I don't think it really mattered too much, but I think it was just hard racing, trying everything. The prior 25 laps I was just single file, not really doing much. So as soon as you have someone next to you, now you have different braking points, the dirty air, it's towards the end of the race. I mean, one little minor difference can alter your line. So I feel like it was fair though. I mean, it's like it's a torrential downpour. I mean, what do you want from me?
No, absolutely. Great race. Congratulations again on P3, and let's see if we'll hear from you again this season, maybe.
Oh, well, you'll have to all keep an eye out. Maybe next week. What's next week? Maybe I'll come back.
Back who?
I don't know about that one, but we'll see. I feel I believe that me and Kersey are going to be doing the All-Star race potentially.
Yeah.
We might be subs for the All-Star race, so we might have a little fun with that. Multiplayer cars, Bahrain short. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Little
Awesome.
fun action. But today, all in all, it was a good race. Congrats to Stanley, first win in Platinum, and it really it's a race you want to win, the 100% race. I mean, along with the GP, the Monaco races, winning on your home track, USA or Mexico. I mean, all those are nice, but to win the 100%, I mean, it's really nice. So congrats on that, and yeah, you checked the box as far as platinum event races to win. So it's good for you. But I'll shut up.
Alrighty.
It was fun.
Yeah, let's
I'll
move over to P2, Tasmanian Devil. A little bit unusual that we're talking to you in P2 and not in the win of the race. But you decided to pit there with 3 laps to go. We were pretty much 100% certain, myself and Kano, that you were not going to pit at all, that you were going to stay until the end. But Kano did bring up one thing that I was going to ask, and maybe that is the case. Was there a possibility or a danger of puncture? Like, how much tire wear did you have on those tires?
Roughly 50-60%. Um, they were fine to go to the end. Um, but I thought I had enough of a gap to pit for fastest lap and come out in first. Because when the gap was 23 seconds, the game was saying I could come out or pit and come out in first. So I waited until I had a gap of 26 seconds and then I pit, but somehow I still managed to drop down to fourth. And I mean, at that point, I only had 3 laps to go, so I was pretty pissed off at that point. Got onto the back of Segwit, and then, well, you guys saw what happened. And that ruined my chance of getting the win because I had orange wing damage.
Yeah, I mean, right towards the end there with yourself and Sequit, a little bit unfortunate for Sequit as well. He got spun out by your front wing, but you really ended up in an unfortunate place at an unfortunate time. There wasn't really anything that either one of you could have done. But I gotta say, you started down in ninth, so qualifying for you today didn't really exactly go as planned. But managing to make it all the way up back to the lead and then building up that almost 30-second gap or so. How did that feel? Was that more fun than just driving from pole to win and being in clean air the whole time, or do you sort of prefer being in clean air and out in first?
Well, excuse me, my voice is kind of going because, well, I'm sure you can imagine after putting in over 2 hours of effort trying to win the race and coming short because of something so silly. Yeah. So.
You want a Red Bull? I have a Red Bull. No, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
What was the question again?
Yeah, so which one do you prefer, being out in clean air, out at going from pole to win, or did you enjoy going through the field today?
Going, excuse me, going through the field was much more fun because I mean, I was running a wet setup, and I'm pretty sure I was running more downforce than all of the guys in front of me. So I had to be pretty creative and find ways to overtake them because they were much quicker than me on the straight. So yeah, I tried some moves around the outside, some on the inside, and all kinds of different stuff. So I really enjoyed that, and it was much more eventful than just starting from pole and leading from lights to flag. So yeah, I enjoyed it up until the point where my race got ruined. So yeah.
Great. Well, great performance again, coming from ninth to almost the win. You were pretty much in that win if you didn't pit, but after even pitting, coming back to P2, amazing performance, great amount of points. Broken streak, unfortunately, of wins for you, but still, you made it 5 out of 5 on the first 5 opening rounds, and P2 in round 6, so it's not like you completely dropped off the field. So, congratulations again, and good luck for the rest of the season. Let's see what you can do.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got one more person left to talk to here, and it's, of course, the one and only Stanley, managing to pull out that win away from Tasmanian Devil. Pretty much pulled the rug from under him there, right in the dying moments of 100% race. So it had to come down to lap 49 of 52. But getting your first win in Platinum, how did it feel? How does it feel to get that first win in the platinum class, especially after the performances that you had in the first 5 rounds weren't exactly amazing. So now with 25 points to your name, with a win in the 100% race, how does it feel?
I'm still shaking, but because this race was like I didn't prepare for rain at all. I done 2 laps when the lobby was open. Like when the lobby was 8 o'clock, I did 2 laps in the wet, 2 seconds off Fike in the wet, and then when I went to qualifying, I I checked the what's it called, the weather, and it was rain the whole race. I'm like, oh gosh, and I didn't have a wet setup at all, and I actually Googled how to change, how to transition your dry setup to a wet setup, and 6 minutes, 6 minute wet setup actually felt quite nice actually somehow. Qualified third. Um, I was surprised I was third in qualifying. Then got an alright start. Then basically kept out of trouble the whole race basically, and people like Secret and Jippo, they pitted for fresh wets. It wasn't even in my mind to pit for fresh tires because I know how long the pit lane was, and this is like the longest pit lane in the F1 calendar. So I decided not to pit at all. I guess that's what happened to Taz. He might have underestimated how long the pit lane was, or how slow the speed limit is in the pit lane. And when I was, and Siegfried was keeping me under pressure for the like second half of the race so much, and when I was, I thought Taz would be ahead of me as well, but I got quite lucky that he pitted for fastest lap, and I thought even if he's like P4, he's on so much fresher tires than me. My tire indicator was brick red, 60%, and I thought he was still past me, but then he collided with Secret, and I thought I actually had a chance. Then, like lap 50, I thought, and then I thought maybe I could have a win. And when Taz and Seafeast were battling, I was relieved that they were battling, and they were like 2.3 seconds behind. And then when I got to the finish line, didn't spin, didn't crash on the final lap, did something stupid like that, and I was so relieved because I've had a pretty crap season so far. Like basically, yeah, I've been pretty crap so far, but this is easily the highlight of the season for me.
Yeah, and for it to come in a 100% race, and for it to also be, the win that breaks the incredible streak that Tasmanian Devil has been having this season, I think it's absolutely incredibly impressive. And I think you really touched on the important point there that I was gonna ask. It felt like today, because it was such a long race, it was really more than just setup, more than just how much experience you have driving in the wet. It was really just about your focus and being absolutely there at the whole 100%, the whole race, and being completely out of trouble. So I think you've done an incredible job there. My other question that I had for you, is as you said, the first sort of half of the season wasn't absolutely great for you. You did get some other good finishes as well. You had that fifth position finish in, I think it was in France, or somewhere around there, or in Monaco. So now you're getting a little bit better. You've got this win in your hands after 100% race. The next week is only going to be 50%. So does that sort of give you a little bit of a boost of confidence? Do you feel like you're going into the rest of this second half of the season with a really, really good motivation?
Uh, I guess so, but I think some of the tracks ahead are kind of tracks I'm unfamiliar with in no racing line. But as you touched on that, I had a very poor first 5 races besides Monaco, and even in that race I broke my front wing twice, so it wasn't ideal. But yeah, the first half wasn't great. Like either I take out someone like I did in Bahrain, or I got caught up like on unfortunate incidents like in France, and I mean, it's just like success takes time, and yeah, very uh, happy to get this win. For the next races, what's the calendar? Baku's next. I don't expect to do well at all there. Um,
And then we've
but
got Russia,
I
Brazil,
was
Canada, USA, and Mexico.
okay, Mexico. I think maybe I have a sort of edge because I'm sort of familiar with Mexico since I did season 10 platinum as reserve there. But
actually I just wanted to interrupt to give you a little bit more motivation. And right after we have Baku, Russia, and then on the off week is the All-Star race. You have to be in the top 5 or as close to the top 5 as possible to try to get a shot into that race. So those 25 points definitely helps your case. You do 2 more good finishes next week, you might be in that race. Then we got the TCR Grand Prix, so that's also a crazy one at Brazil. So it's a
yeah,
lot to look
definitely.
forward to, for you and for everyone.
Yeah, I'm currently 12th, so it shows that I didn't really have a great season.
Yeah, but this is
Um,
gonna bounce you up to about 5th or 6th, so this win here tonight is definitely gonna boost you up.
yeah, we'll see. Maybe there's some craziness again in Baku or Russia.
Most
Hopefully
definitely.
to advantage. Hopefully
All
to
right.
advantage. So
Well, Stanley, congratulations. Absolutely incredible drive. Great win here tonight, and good luck for the rest of the season for the second half. I hope we're going to talk to you a couple more times at least in these interviews.
yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Well, that was our top 3 finishers there. Incredible from everything that we've heard from them, and obviously this race was a very long race, but it was exciting throughout. There was battling going on everywhere. The wet weather definitely mixed things up and made it a little bit extra exciting for us. Unfortunately, Kono wasn't able to stick around until the end of the stream here, but I do have Seafreeze with me. Seafreeze, any parting
Oh.
words?
Oh, I don't know. There's I mean, it was a crazy good race. Well, hopefully we'll get this video. Hopefully we're seeing this on the YouTube when when we re-upload it. It was a good race. I don't know really what much happened in it. It was a crazy full 100% race as I was driving in it. But there's a lot to look forward to. Next week we have a street circuit again, so that'll be interesting. A lot of nice events as we get this second half of the calendar coming to close. Not only in this class, but all the others as well. The championships and drivers wanting to get into that all-star race. We have the TCR Grand Prix coming up, as well as the TCR the feature races for silver and golden, another new event for them, for those guys. So ultimately, there's a lot of cool stuff in the second half, and we're going to close out season 11 very strong. So all in all, it was a fun race, and yeah, there's a lot to look forward to.
Awesome. Thanks again to Seafreeze and to all of the other drivers here from tonight from Platinum Class. Congratulations once again to Stanley on that win and finally breaking Tasmanian Devil's streak of 5 wins in a row in Season 11. So now we've got another name on that win list for this season. So as Seafreeze mentioned, lots more exciting stuff to come. We do apologize once again that we weren't able to get this one on YouTube live, but we will get it onto there as soon as possible so you guys can all watch it in replay. Leave your comments, leave your likes, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Check out the links in the description for our affiliate sponsor Fanatec and also our TCR shop where you can purchase some TCR stickers provided to us by Sticky Fingers Canada. So from that's pretty much rounds it off here. It's been a really long race here tonight, but a great special event at 100% here at Silverstone, and yeah, amazing race all around. So for everybody who's been watching, thank you guys again. We will see you next week in Baku on Tuesday with the silver class. Wednesday is going to be gold, and then platinum will be back with you guys on next week on Thursday. But from Blim Machine, from Kano, and from everybody else here, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Have a great night.